Okay. Hello, everybody. We are live from Ward Central. A little bit of a different location than usual because it is right smack dab in the middle of the wonderful March Madness tournament. And today we're going to be, or this evening rather, we're going to be talking about everything March Madness, men's and women's, and also kind of put a nice little bow on the Rattlers season as well. So, honestly, let's just start there with the Rattlers going to the SWAC tournament, winning a game, and this was one of the best finishes for the Rattlers in a very, very long time. I actually got some stats here. This is your first conference tournament win since 2018. It's the first SWAC tournament win for the Rattlers since the Rattlers joined the SWAC in 2020, somewhere around there. And it's the best regular season finish since 2007, highest placement in the SWAC, and also first conference tournament semifinal appearance since 2012. So lots of great stuff happening there for the Rattlers, and a good end to the season. Obviously coming up a little short against Southern in a heartbreaking fashion.
Mm-hmm.
For those that were there and those that watched, it was sad. But nonetheless, good season, first great season. So, Coach, what's your thoughts? Season number 1 under your belt. How are we feeling?
It was definitely a good foundational season to build upon. We had a lot of great moments that helped us develop, some respect. I'll say that. Coming in, we were 8th, and at the end of it, we were 2nd. After we put the work in, we were 2nd. But there was a lot of things that we will continue to build upon, which is developing good winning habits. And so we had some great streaks this year, 5 games at the end of the season, 5 games during the season. So all those things were great moments for us. We lost 4 games. We lost 5 games at the beginning of the year in the non-conference. But in the end, it was about the guys rallying together, the chemistry, fighting through adversity. All those things, were positives this year. And yes, we did lose in heartbreaking fashion to a team that we had beat twice. It was a great game. We shot ourselves in the foot in the first half, turned the basketball over at a rampant. But we came back throughout the first half and kept it close at halftime. And then the second half, we took a lead right there at the beginning of the second half. And they're a good basketball team. And in the end, we just weren't able to overcome. They hit a shot with like 0.6 seconds or something left to go. Yeah. Three-pointer. But overall, just very proud of guys and their effort and the way they were able to, fight through the adversity, continue to, stay together even when things weren't going well. And, that was our MO this year.
Absolutely.
Being resilient.
Yeah. And the resilience did show many a times because it did get out of hand during that first half against Southern, and I know a lot of us in the stands were kind of holding our breath, but ended the half on a little bit of a run and carried that run into the second half, and got the game close, and it just stayed that way throughout. And it was a good game to watch, and just SWAC hoops on display, and the SWAC ended up having Prairie View come out on the other side of the tournament, and so they ended up playing last night.
The
Yes, the 8th seed ended up winning the SWAC. If that's not a testament to how good the SWAC is and how competitive it is, that an 8th seed ended up winning it all. It's amazing to see and amazing to get to watch in person. So getting to see them compete on the next level, and then winning against, who was it, Lehigh?
Lehigh.
Last night in the first four, so they will be taking on Florida. But that was the first four. But today, the actual tournament started. The actual men's tournament, rather, started. We already had some good results. As you can see, I'm repping my alma mater. TCU, first game of the day. Go Frogs. It definitely was going to determine how this entire thing would go, how I would be feeling about my bracket if, my alma mater didn't win. Thank the Lord they came out on top, but not by the skin of their teeth. Had my blood pressure raised at 2:30 in the afternoon. Good stuff. And we have had some upsets. High Point ended up beating Wisconsin by 1. We just had VCU go final against North Carolina. They beat them by 4. And that's it in terms of upsets today. It's been kind of quiet otherwise. Everything's been pretty chalky. Duke did have a scare. Duke had a little bit of a scare earlier today against Siena. And
fighting McNamara's.
That's what they are?
The coach is the McNamara. He's the point guard for Syracuse.
Oh.
Back in the day. You remember that? McNamara when he went off during the tournament? Now he's the coach of Siena.
Oh, well, look at that.
Maybe the coach at Syracuse after this.
That's true.
Performance.
They sure did. They released their coach, didn't they?
Yes.
But yes, other than that, it's been kind of chill. Michigan just went final against our other HBCU rep. There's another one, but Howard unfortunately was unable to keep it close. They had them down to 2. The lead was down to only 2 in the. It was about a couple seconds into the second half, and they got it close. Unfortunately, Michigan just got a bunch of guys over the height of 6'7", and
yes,
sometimes that's not good for anybody. And unfortunately, that won over, and they ended up losing by 21. But other than that, just your thoughts on the game so far. Have we seen any teams really show if they've got what it takes to win the next 5 games?
Duke, of course, they've had moments in games like they had today where they've had to come back and win the game. Just hadn't been against like a team like Siena. They've been quality teams. And they've only lost, 1 or 2 games, I think, this whole year. And so I'm sure they'll bounce back. But at some point, it comes to where it's a hit or miss when it comes to the teams playing each other. But I'm just happy to see the mid-majors do well, because that's where we are.
Yes.
And it gives us all hope.
Yes.
One day that could happen for us.
That would be the Rattlers.
So we're definitely, pulling for the mid-majors when they are able to beat a Power 4 school, regardless of who it is.
Mm-hmm.
So just happy for those teams.
Absolutely. Yes. It's always nice to see the mid-majors do well, and sometimes out here busting some brackets. Personally, my bracket looked okay to start the day, but this evening slate has definitely taken its toll on my bracket. I'm down to about 92%. So it's not too bad, but there are definitely some picks in here that I probably should have, gone the other way with. Coach Ward, how's your bracket doing? We got a family challenge going on, so that's another reason, I'm hoping some of these teams pull it out.
Well, I lost some games today, but some of the teams that I chose, I didn't choose past the next round, so I'm still.
That is true.
I'm still good from that standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
I did call the VCU North Carolina upset.
Okay.
I missed the other one, but all the other ones I think are kind of hit or miss.
Yeah, no, I feel you on that one. I didn't get VCU, but I did get High Point, so I was kind of proud of myself with that one. But currently BYU is in the process of potentially screwing over my bracket tremendously, and I'll just not have to worry about that half of the bracket because I don't know what I was thinking there. But, I mean, there's some good games on the docket. Tomorrow we'll see how those games pan out, and right now we're also watching the women's first four. Currently, Arizona State is taking on Virginia, and the score is 26-20 in Virginia's favor.
It's in the second quarter.
Yes.
They play quarters.
Yes, the second quarter. Yes. Would you like to... Or do we have enough time for the soapbox of Coach Ward and his gripe with quarters and halves?
I don't understand it. How? Well, in general, don't play
the
quarters.
only iteration of basketball, because like pros, World Cup, high school, like everybody else plays in quarters except for men's college basketball, which is quite the intriguing thing. But also kind of on soapboxes, we were wondering this the other day of, if you win your conference tournament, shouldn't you have the right to just be in the tournament? You shouldn't have to play your way in. That doesn't make sense to me because you have 16 seeds. You had Prairie View and both Howard. Both of them had to play their way into the tournament. And, you know, that just doesn't seem fair because some of these other teams just kind of did in their conference tournaments but got an at-large bid and didn't have to play into the tournament. So, like, what do you think about that, Coach Ward?
Well, I'm always for doing something that makes sense.
Something that makes sense.
You know,
it's crazy.
It's I would agree because you were breaking it down even more about the at-large and how many there are and how many conference champions there are, and so I would agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let the 16s be the 16s, and then if they want to have the Power 4 bubble be like 11 or whatever the other numbers they come up with, 12s, whatever it may be, then cool. How do they cut it off? How do they cut it off at 11 and 16? Are they like halfway points?
Sounds like it, but I know the math is the last four at-large teams and the lowest seeded conference champions. Those are your 8 play-in teams, which makes no sense to me. It should just be all 8 play-in at large bids because that just, you know.
Yeah, just make us 16.
Yes, exactly. Also, on the women's side, in SWAC hoops, Southern ended up winning against Sanford by 12, 65-53. So SWAC hoops is alive and well on the women's side as well. Another instance of 2 conference champions having to play their way into the tournament. That's our gripes. It's bad on the women's side too. But on the women's side, it should probably be a bit chalky, a little more chalkier than the men's side as it usually is. Which, I mean, sets up for better games later on. But in the first few rounds, I don't know. I have UConn winning it all, going back to back.
But in the women's game, it's going to always be the top seeds because they play at home.
That is true. Another difference between the men's and women's tournaments is in the women's tournaments, the first 2 rounds are played at the highest seeds. So the top 16 seeds in the tournament get to host at home for the first 2 rounds before going to neutral site for the Sweet 16 and Elite 8 and Final 4 and so on. But in the men's tournament, the entire tournament is on a neutral site. So that definitely plays a factor, right?
It does.
It does.
And the top 16 teams are normally going to be a better team. So, but even more than that, you only have about maybe 5 or 6 teams that could actually win it. So the women's bracket is a little easier when you start talking about picking games.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to have as many 5-12 upsets.
Correct.
And so it's kind of easier picking, because you know South Carolina's going to be there. You know UConn's going to be there. Texas. Just those top teams. UCLA. They're going to be in the mix.
Yes.
Most times. So you can put them already in the Elite Eight.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. Absolutely. I feel like that our Final Four might just be all one seeds.
Again?
Yeah, but I mean that's the thing about the women's game. It is that way, and until maybe Gino retires.
Until somebody retires.
Because I mean, after Tara Vanderveer retired, Stanford has not been the same at all. They've lost in the first round of the ACC tournament this year, so they've had a rough go after having their legendary coach retire. Seems like Iowa's been okay. Well, they're a 2 seed. They're more than okay.
Are they a 2 seed?
Yes, they are. They lost in the Big 10 tournament to UCLA.
UCLA is good.
Yeah, they are. And that was a big debate whether or not UConn or UCLA should have been the number 1 seed due to strength of schedule and whatnot. But as we see here, BYU is most likely about to lose to Texas. Which is the old Big 12 versus the new Big 12.
Which is not a real big upset.
It's not
BYU's been...
Yeah, they've been shaky all year.
Yeah.
Led by... what's his name?
Tabata.
Yes.
But he's a one-man band right now.
Yeah. He is, and he had a lot of points. Let's say that. He definitely has a lot of points. I'm checking here right now. He probably got a lot.
He got most.
He has 35 points.
Yeah, he has most of their points.
That's half their points, and only one other person is in double figures on the entire squad, and that would be Robert Wright. So for BYU, this is
I mean, they were... I don't know what their record was, but if he wasn't
23-11.
If he wasn't on the team, they probably wouldn't have made it.
Oh no. And they say he went there for the school, and it wasn't about the money.
That's not accurate.
No, that's not.
I mean, he would have probably played somewhere, but they were going to give him some resources.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he earns it. He deserves it.
Yeah.
He has his own shoe. But he has a Nike shoe, so...
Wow. Look at that.
And Nike is... We would love to have a Nike deal for some of our guys.
Oh. A little shout out, a little NIL.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know what it takes to make that happen. FAMU, we got a FAMU shoe. LeBron.
Oh, yeah. Shout out LeBron. Yeah. Something else I did see online was Duke's halftime report. Because I forgot who it was that had an interview at halftime that came out and said, we thought it would be a cakewalk when they were talking about playing Siena. So does that kind of change things about how you think about Duke? Because they thought their mindset was kind of coming in like, oh, this is going to be easy. I'm trying to remember
They
who
need
it
to put a
was.
filter on whoever that is. Because that's not basketball respect. That's not respecting the game as we say. That's just total disrespect. You don't disrespect your opponent.
Yeah. I'm trying to see.
You don't care who you playing. Like I always tell my guys, the execution, the energy, the effort will dictate the outcome. Absolutely. If you're more talented on the team and you're executing at a high level, the score would reflect it.
Yeah. Malik Brown. That's who it was.
Number 6.
Yes.
keep him off the mic.
Yes, they do. He only had 6 points, by the way. But
Sound like some of my guys. They have no filter. You gotta have a filter. You just can't be saying anything.
yeah, so he said we thought it was going to be a cakewalk going into this game, so now we know what it is. So we just have to respond back. That was what Malik Brown said to Tracy Wolfson at halftime. Yeah.
Well, they won't.
We'll see.
They won't choose him again.
No, they will not.
You have to.
They better not.
You have to keep him like in the background. They'll choose somebody else.
Absolutely.
He's a good player though.
Yes.
And plays hard.
Yes, but keep him off the mic.
Yes.
He needs to be silent. That's okay. But thank you guys for joining us for our little tournament central, and maybe we'll do some updates as the weekend progresses. We should be in for some more good games tomorrow and to finish the night. So as BYU and Texas just went final, and we'll see how the rest of this tournament pans out. And go Frogs, go Rattlers, go Noles, I suppose.
Who knows? Coach Luke, I feel you. We'll be there too, in the same boat with you next year. Working for our outcomes.
Absolutely.
And also we have looking forward to hopefully seeing people on Sunday. At the Busy Bee.
Yes.
In Live Oak.
In Live Oak, yes, Coach
From
Ward.
12 to 2.
Yes, live and in person, 12 to 2 at Busy Bee in Live Oak. Great appearance just to show some support for the Champions Ranch and also get you some red velvet fudge.
Oh yeah,
potentially.
Red velvet fudge. It is
special flavor
awesome.
just
It's
for
very
Coach
good.
Ward. So if you all would like to come out, have a nice meet and greet with Coach Ward. Love to see you at Busy Bee this Sunday from 12 to 2.
12 to 2.
If you're passing by, grab you a snack and go see Coach Ward. But thank you guys again for joining us. We really do appreciate it. And hopefully your bracket isn't as busted as ours are. So we'll see how the rest of this tournament goes. Thank you guys.